Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back, and this week we're painting Asmodeus from Heritage Miniatures, 1980 something. I don't have an exact date on this guy, but this was a miniature that, if you recall, last week we talked about. This guy was incomplete for more than 30 years, and now I've actually got his arm and his staff back, and we're ready to get started painting this guy. This is also, it's not only exciting because I actually get to finish this figure I started 30 some odd years ago, but I'm actually using some paints from the new, well, new to me, because I record these things so far in advance, but I'm using paints from the new Army Painter Flesh Wash, or Flesh Tone set. This is a combination of the onyx skin, like a really dark skin tone, and what they call, let me dig out the bottle here. This obsidian pigment tone, or it's kind of a really, really dark green kind of thing. And I mixed that with a little bit of the dark tone Flesh Wash. And I saw that this was a combination that I was going to be using a lot for dark skin tones. And so I went ahead and mixed some up. The Flesh Tones paint set, if you didn't see my video on that, comes with War Paints mixing medium, and comes with 4 empty bottles. In addition to all the Flesh Tones, comes with the War Paints mixing medium, comes with 3 pigment toners, 3 washes, and 4 empty bottles that you can mix your own mixtures in. So this is one of the ones I did. There was another one that I thought there was a skin tone that looked like it was kind of out of place, and so I kind of darkened it up a little bit and came up with this. But we'll get to that. I actually have a bunch of barbarians planned to do all the skin tones with it. But this is what I'm basing this guy in, this really dark brownish green. And then I'm going to give it a wash with the dark skin wash, and then highlight it with onyx skin. And then his teeth, if you can see them, you really can't, can you? All right, doink. Just throw that one back on the shelf. His eyes are going to be Averland Sunset with some flash kits yellow. His medallions and belt buckles are going to be Vallejo model Old Gold with a little bit of Seraphim Sepia wash. His hair is going to be Nightmare Black. His staff is going to be Wildwood. This little topper on his staff, this little globe here, I'm going to base that in white, and then paint it with this Tesseract Glow, and I'll do a little bit of OSL on his collar and his hand and all that kind of thing, just to show that glow a little bit. Maybe thin it down and glaze it on there. His boots and his belt are going to be snakebite leather. His cape here is going to be Thanos black with a dark red liner. His horns are going to be Wraithbone with Skeleton Horde. His tights are going to be purple. His tunic there is going to be Corvus black, and then his basing is going to be Basilicanum gray with a Dawnstone dry brush. So, yeah, I think this guy's going to come out really spiff. So let me go ahead and pause here and get started on that skin tone. All right, see you soon. Bye. All right, Brush Monkeys, as you can see, I've got his tights done, painted with the, what did I do with it? Vallejo Game Color Heavy Violet, and then shade washed with a little bit of Druchii Violet, and they look pretty good. His skin is done. When I got the onyx skin on there, I felt like it didn't really show a whole lot of difference and highlights. So I took the next step up, which is the mocha skin here, and mixed that with a little bit of the onyx skin for the highlights, and that's how I got his face and his abs and the fingers and that kind of thing. So he's got a nice dark skin tone, and then I went ahead and painted his eyes with the yellows, and they look pretty good. So the next step up is his hair and beard, and his eyebrows, and then probably his horns. And I got his cloak painted with the Thanos black. There's a couple little areas, a couple little spots I have to touch up. I don't know what it is with the Thanos black, but the Thanos black wants to shrink a little bit when it dries, and so it'll come up with spots that are missing. There we go. So yeah, got the cloak done. You can see I got his collars on his sleeves done. So he's looking pretty good. So next up is the tunic and the red lining of his cloak, and his hair and beard and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and go do that, and then we'll come back and see how he looks. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, we made some more progress on our boy here. As you can see, I've got his coat, his tunic here done in the Corvus Black, which is, for those of you that haven't worked with it, Corvus Black is actually a very, very dark green. Kind of like how Nightmare Black is a very, very dark blue. But, so I did the Corvus Black on there, and then I decided it looked a little flat, so I took a little bit of Incubi Darkness, which again is a very dark green, but it's kind of a shade lighter than the Corvus Black, and highlighted them with it. Focus in there, and it looks a little shiny now, but it'll tone down as it dries. Also got his hair and beard done in the Nightmare Black, and I don't know if you can see that or not on the sides, but it actually, he doesn't have just like the little Van Dyke, the goatee thing. He's actually got a full beard that comes down on his sideburns and everything. So painted all that, and he's looking pretty spiff. I really like how he's coming out so far. As you can see, I've also got his horns tipped. I've got his belt and his the tops of his boots done with the Wraithbone. I chose not to do the rest of his boots with Wraithbone because when I put the snakebite leather on him, I want them to be two different tones. So I wanted the rest of the boots to be a little darker than the tops of them. The tops of them would be a little more straight leather. And then of course I still have the trim on his tunic here and his cloak to do, and those will both be in the Vallejo game color Scarlet Red. So I'm going to do those first, and then I'll come back and do the rest of it, and you'll see how that red really makes the rest of it pop. I think it's going to look really good. By the way, for those of you wondering why I put them on a Citadel handle here instead of my usual Redgrass Games handle, the little orange sticky stuff on the top of the Redgrass Games handle wasn't quite up to the task of holding something this big. This is a solid chunk of lead, and that it just wasn't going to cut it, so so I had to put them on something a little more stable. So there he goes. I'm going to go ahead and go paint the reds and the leathers, and then we'll come back and take a look at them. Alright, see you soon. Alright, so now that I've got the reds painted, you can see how this guy's starting to come together. For some reason on the camera, the tights look more blue than purple, which wasn't intended. It's actually a very dark purple. But you can see how the reds kind of make all the rest of that pop, and it looks really good. I also got his horns done and his leathers painted. And you can see where here I've got the Zenithal priming, and up here I've got the Wraithbone highlights. And you can see how the Wraithbone makes it quite a bit lighter than the rest of the boots. So I got a nice two-tone leather color out of the same leather for his boots. I've got the golds left to do on his belt buckle and medallion. And I think I'm going to do this little claw that the ball is being held in gold as well. And the rest of his staff will be in Wraithbone. So I really only got his golds, his staff, and his basing left to do. But he is coming together really, really nicely. I really like how this dude is turning out. So I'm going to pause here and go do his staff and his golds. And then we'll come back and make some more progress on him. Alright, see you soon. Alright, I got the golds done on this guy, and he's looking really spiff. I really like how he's turning out. I know I've said that before, but you know, now that you start to see all the colors come together, you start to see how amazing it really looks, and I really like how this is coming out. I was afraid that the dark skin next to the dark jacket would look a little too dark and kind of all together black, but yeah, there's definitely some differences in shades and tones in there, so I think it looks really good, and I think his eyes really stand out well against the darkness of his face and his hair and beard and everything. So all that's left now is the basing, which is just going to be silicon gray with a Dawnstone dry brush, and paint the base band with Thanos black. And the Tesseract glow on his orb there, and a little bit of OSL on his. I'll probably put a little bit on his collar and shoulder there, just to kind of highlight that glow. But I gotta wait for the white to dry. Excuse me. And then we can get on it. Yeah. So we'll see you soon. Bye. All right, I'm back, and I've got the Tesseract glow painted on the globe. I did try to do the OSL effect on it, but it just came out so streaky and horrible that I decided against it. Let's see if I can get a better background there. This thing actually focus. There we go. So the Tesseract glow on his collar and tunic looked so streaky and bad. It didn't look like an OSL effect. It just looked like glowing mud. So I ended up having to repaint all that. Get rid of that nonsense. So I just went ahead and doubled down on the OSL, or the Tesseract glow on the globe itself. Can get that nice glowing effect there. And then what I'll probably end up doing, got a couple little spaces to touch up here and there. Hold on. What I'm going to do is finish up the basing, and then I'm going to call it a day. So this guy's pretty well done. As you see him now, I'm going to go ahead and do the base, and the next time you see this guy, he'll be completely done. All right. So we'll see you soon. Bye. And there he is. Brush Monkeys, our finished Asmodeus. He's still a little shiny because the matte seal is still wet, but that'll mellow out over time. I'm really happy with how he came out. I think he looks really fantastic. I'm really pleased to have been able to finally finish this 30-year-old mini and have it finished in my collection. I think he looks really good. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom from Flying Monkey Studios here. If you like what you see, click like down below. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, go ahead and click subscribe. It's like over here somewhere, right there. Those will both help with my YouTube numbers and bring me that much closer to monetizing this channel and being able to do what I love to do full time. If you want to get your hands on some of the miniatures I painted here, visit our Instagram and Tumblr pages. I post pictures of both of those on a regular basis. I post videos on TikTok on a regular basis, mostly to direct traffic here to the YouTube channel, but you know, there's some other stuff there that's kind of cool. So go check that out. And if you want to show some love for your favorite monkey-based miniature painter, go check out our merch store at storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios to get our t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, can cozies, aprons, face masks. We've got all kinds of stuff there in a bunch of different colors, including tie-dye. We've got some tie-dye shirts on there if you want to check that out. So go check that out. Go check us out on our other social medias and follow us on Twitter for updates on the channel as well. And thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.